And when he comes in, see where my hand already is? The scissor is already on the elbow. That's already coming back. Just going to take it like that. So now when he scissors that, boom, he's just going to smoke it. Scissors it and he just lays smoke. Because at this time, when he scissors that, my hand is here. The only thing I probably do is put that hand up, right? That's why the counter time is different than a riposte. He's already knocked this one, so it's not able to get back up. But if he does a standard riposte where he deflects the stick, I can get my stick up. But if he smacks with the back of my elbow, then I could just put my hand up and I'm probably that's not gonna help, right? So that's the basic 4 pathways. Work them one at a time in dry fire, and then put them together in your Sumbrada, and do them one at a time until you circulate them. We can't really spend 10 minutes on each one. You probably need to spend 10 to 20 minutes just working each one of them singly, and then put them in Sumbrada and work them singly. And then later on, you put it in Sumbrada and you work whatever you want. You just have one person as the metronome and the other person as the executor. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go through on the number 1 strike, and you know, why isn't this first? Well, really, I view this as the last strike in the cycle. So this one really doesn't count. Okay, and now when he swings that one at me, that's the one that counts to me in a Sumbrada. We're going to look at a dry fire. Now the first one, probably you're not going to use dry fire that often unless you're just in a good position. But that's what we call scissor. That's when I give the number 1 angle and he sidesteps it, gives it a little pat with his hand, and he strikes the inside of my arm or my body. So that's the number 1, and that's the scissor motion. Rarely you probably use as a singular motion, okay? The other one is he can pass it by and go over the bridge, and that's like that. Whack, and that's gonna smoke. So if he hits me like that, you see where the scissor could be? I could go as deep as that hand, I could go into the body, and I could go on the face. I could even ricochet and hit 2 targets, right? And the other one is I move out and I just pull him past a little bit. That's what we call the flying bridge. So he does the inside scissor, okay, and he does the flying bridge. And that's just gonna really smoke him. Inside scissor and the flying bridge. And again, it will make more sense out of a Sumbrada. So when he strikes me, the first one, hit him. He strikes me the second one, slight delay, and hit him. Okay, that's number 1, what we call the split entry and the flying bridge, or we say the scissor and the tukup, or the pulling hit, okay? So the next one now is what we call cover and hit. That's 2 hands on the inside. Pretty simple, right? Everybody knows that one. So when he hits me, number 1, see what I just moved to the inside? I move to the inside. I move to the inside. That's the cover and hit. Okay, really simple, cover and hit. Position relative tactic. Okay, so the technical element is relative to the position, and that creates that tactic. Okay, the next one is the outside the hand. He'll do what we call hand, stick, hand. So he hits with a hand first, then with the stick, and then whooshes it. So his hand goes first. So the hand goes first. Okay, the hand goes first. Okay, the hand goes first. Okay, then the stick goes first. The stick goes first. The stick might go first. Okay, so when he hits me, my hand makes contact, I hit the hand, I trap the hand, and I whoosh it. So I pass, hit, and whoosh. So I'm in that position, my hand makes contact, I hit his arm, check his arm, and smoke it. In some cases, my hand can't get there, so my stick goes first, then my hand, and then the stick, okay? And if that's a blade, sometimes it goes like that. So that blade kind of cuts the back of the hand, back of the arm, and the head. But if it's a stick like that, see, I just hit and just pass it like that. So that's the 4 techniques. The scissor, the split entry, those are considered one technique. Okay? The 2 hands on the inside. Okay? Then 2 hands on the outside. 2 hands on the outside stick first. Is like that. So that's your basics there. And then again, you want to put those into play from dry fire. And now we'll put them into play from a moving base or a Sumbrada. So if I feed the 1, that doesn't count. That first one is that one. So we just go like that. As I hit, see, I'm already in preparation for that movement. So if he hits like that, when I come in, he's already in preparation to get that stroke in. See that? Okay? So he's already in preparation to get that stroke in. Okay? So as I started off like that, see? Okay? That's the split entry. So we do the same thing now. Okay, now he'll do it. Okay, really, really simple, okay? So what you have there is the scissor and the split entry. Now if we're going like this, we do the cover and hit. Because I'm right there, see how easy that is to do? And that could be 2 on the hand, 1 on the hand, 1 on the body, 1 on the head. Okay, so now as he does it, so as I go like that, see, I took too long with my riposte, and that allows him to set up to the inside. When I hit that, see, that's already like that. So as he goes like that, see, that's already right there. Just take it as you will there, okay? So that is the 2 hands inside technique, okay? So the next one now, what we're gonna do is 2 hands outside. So this one doesn't count. As I hit that, my hand stick like that. So 1, so my hand makes contact, and we go like that. Hand makes contact, and you go like that. Hand makes contact, and whoosh. Okay, the second version of that is, so my stick makes contact and then whoosh, right? So the stick and whoosh, okay? Stick and whoosh. Stick and whoosh. Okay, so that's the basic over there. That's the 4th one. So work them dry fire. Work them into the Sumbrada, just like we did it there. And you can do the full cycle and then enter. Or if you have to break it down into the first position and just do the second stroke, do the entry, if you're struggling. And then put it into the Sumbrada. And this is going to give you such an advantage in understanding the timing of these strokes. It's going to make it much more efficient. Then you want to put it in with your sparring and find out how that actually works in real time, okay? So that's the basic structure right there of what we call defensive counter time. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're just going to do this same thing, but we're going to insert a little bit more movement, and so we move the camera back. And I'm going to kind of give you some little, you know, tricks. They call them hacks these days, so that you can really see where your counter time position comes into its own, right? So So when we start the Sumbrada, so we're doing just a basic Sumbrada here. And we might be doing just hit the stick, then we go in the middle range. Now when I want to answer on this number 4, you see where I put that thing out? So what I did was, as we're doing that Sumbrada, we established a base of fire and a rhythm. Then I just kind of trick that distance, which gives me access to the back side of his arm, because he over-rotates to correct for that wider angle of attack. So he's used to that attack being about that angle and about that width, right? Then I put that over there, see, and that gives me access to the back of his arm, which allows me to enter like that, okay? So that's a little trick you can use to put yourself in the right position to execute any of those techniques. Just kind of give yourself a little bit of extra time. So if we're doing the same thing here now, when I do the number 15 hit, I make that out kind of wide out of his shoulder. So that can put me, when he comes back 1, in a position. So as I do the 15, that's my base 15, right at his head, right at my head. I put that outside that, which gives me an inside line on that position. You can see all the disarms and techniques that will flow out of that, okay? By the same token, that's my standard 15. When I go like that, see, I go 1, do 1 again. I put the 15 more over here. So when he comes back 1, it gives me that position to go like that. I just kind of make that 15 standard and a little bit over there. See, I put it just a little bit over to his side. So my 15 that's standard here. So now when my 15 is going to be standard, now I move it a little bit over to this side. So he has to pressure that even more to push it away. And that allows me to enter with that split entry. You see that? Because what I force him to do here in slow motion is push my hand more. Gives me access to that inside line. Okay? In some cases, we're doing the Sumbrada, and now he starts to hang on the hand a little bit. See that? So that puts me on the outside of that position. Because when we went like that, and he hanging on my hand, see, I end up on the outside of that position. Now hang on my hand, when I hit 4, see, I can't really get my technique off just because he's hanging on my hand a little bit. So I have to put it in another position. Okay, so that's what will gain you kind of access to that, is give that thing a little bit of a different position so that you end up being able to take advantage of that. So in other words, your attack in such a way that it forces him to move more to his left or more to his right, and that will give you either inside or outside his position, or kind of in between, if you're kind of falling back. So if I do a stroke like that on 15, that's falling back already, see, that allows me here. If I do a stroke like that on 15, that's moving to this side, it allows me more on that side of his body. So if I go like that and do the stroke on 15, see, when he comes back, that allows me to that position. It's kind of relative to what you feel, which is the purpose of Sumbrada, but we're giving you here some ammunition to use to find those key points of entry, right? Just like on the number 1, when he elongates that number 1 out, I have to really over-rotate to hit that, and that's going to allow that motion. If I elongate that 1 out, see, that's going to allow that motion. If I shorten that 1 in, see, that's going to allow that motion. See what I do here? See, I just make that a short, choppy strike, which forces him to really defend that right hard. And this one forces him to reach out for it. See, so each one kind of puts him, see what I do the tip of the stick? Just the tip. Okay, so what you're going to do is use those motions to help you set up your counter time defense. Now that's more an advanced way to do it. So first you got to learn the other basic structures. Then out of the Sumbrada, you can kind of set up your entries. You set it up any way you want, dog. Okay? He just sets up his entry any way he wants. And that way you'll have kind of a feel for it, so that it's not robotic. So right now I don't know, oh, now I know where I'm going to go. Right now I don't know where I'm going to go. See, I don't know where, oh, there he knows where he's going to go. So as you do that and as you practice that, you're going to find that you're able to generate a counter time defense, which is actually more what we call an offensive defense, okay? So you're disallowing that person his full stroke. So what that means is if he blocks this roof and hits me overhead, number one, I'm allowing him his full stroke. Okay? Or he's allowing me to finish my stroke and possibly answer. But if he counter times that, he's not allowing me to complete my stroke. So I'm kind of like only halfway through my number 15 and he's already striking me. I'm only halfway through my number 1 and he's already striking me. Right? He moves to the outside of my number 1, he's already hitting me before I'm able to come back forward, right? So what he's doing is kind of, we just use a term, I stole it from Bruce Lee. It's called defensive counter time. And that's the lesson here for the Sumbrada. Use the techniques, dry fire, learn the techniques, dry fire, execute the techniques under a rhythmical situation like Sumbrada, then try to locate them by setting them up in a scenario-based sparring situation or a live sparring situation. Okay, so for the Sumbrada, we have defensive counter time and we have what we call offensive counter time. The offensive counter time, just like defensive counter time, is a broken rhythm or broken timing. So the first one we're going to use, we call florete. And we're going to do it without much footwork, and we're using short sticks so we can stay in the camera. But we want you to be able to see as much as you can. So you can only see us from waist up, but we already know footwork, right? So if I hit number 1, his Sumbrada is he's going to deflect that, right? So what I'm going to do is counter time that by florete. So what I do is I florete, because I established Sumbrada, I already kind of got the idea he's going to impact my weapon. So I floreted that, right? So he's impacting my weapon. He's already done it. So he already established his tendency. And this time, I florete and I don't change lines, right? So now Doc will do it. So as I'm impacting the weapon, impacting the weapon, impacting the weapon. And as soon as the weapon passes through the space, he's going to hit into that position. So impact the weapon. And even if my hand is there, my hand is just going to get toasted, right? Because that florete carries some smoke. So if I go like that, and he's deflecting that out, he's not blocking, it's not a rigid block. When I go like that, see, I just hit the face or the body, and that's what we call offensive counter time, florete, for angle 1. Now we'll do the same thing on the backhand stroke. So we do 1, that's my standard, that's his standard. So we're doing the standard, hit the stick. So when he goes to hit it, I just let him finish his motion. Okay, so as he goes to hit my stick over here, I just go right to the body, right? So the same thing here for him. As I go to hit the stick, because I'm trying to make a drop stick deflect that, anytime I drop stick deflect that, he can florete that. especially if I'm going like that, right? Person who overblocks. I'm overblocking on every stroke. So when I go to overblock, he already has the line. And even if I've done the deflection like this, my arm will get hit. So that's the florete on offensive counter time, right? So now on the 15 stroke, when he's hitting that like that, see how I'm hitting this? See that? So I'm really passing my stick through the space. So now when I go like that and he passes the stick through the space, I just florete that. So his hand's gonna get toasted. Or if he's just putting his stick up and deflect, he's gonna get hit in the helmet, right? So this is for when what? You see how I'm defending each one of these strikes? I'm defending it like that. And you'll see a lot of people who want to put a heavy that's going to hit me, right? So you're waiting for the stick, the deflection to pass through the space, and then you're going to orientate toward whatever's left over in that space, which could be his hand or which could be his head, right? Okay, so that's what we call offensive counter time line deception, okay? The next one we'll go into is offensive counter time deception, okay? So, I'm sorry, that one was time deception, and what we're going to do now is go into offensive counter time line deception. So I'm actually going to change lines, okay? So as we're doing the Sumbrada here, now we have a person who's more strict in his structure and his blocking. So I just make the counter time probably hit his hand because he's blocking. So when I go number one, you see the stroke? That could be on the hand. That could be on the body. But I'm not staying in florete because florete is going to hit the stick. So what I do is I repel on that. So we go through the Sumbrada, and he's going to do the line deception. And as soon as I go to reach for that block, he's just going to cut right underneath it. And so that's for the forehand strike. For the backhand strike, all I do is go on the leg. Now, I really could go on the head, but even with the soft stick, probably you're not going to like that. So in order to be able to do it where you can get a little whistle, just hit him in the leg. That hurt. That hurt anyways. So now when he hits back to number 4 to me and I go to block that 4, he's just going to swing that right down to that line. Bam. And usually what I do is I leave that leg in front. So when he wants to do that, he can hit that leg, right? Instead of your groin. If your other leg's in front, you might hit your groin, right? But you're just changing like that. So that's, okay, for the number 4, hit the leg. Or for the number 4, I just hit the hand if he's blocking, right? So you just go like that. On the backhand side, body. On the backhand side, hand. Now you do it, dog. Just go all the way there. Because my block is there. He just hits the leg, right? So that is the repellon on the first 2. Now this one here, now I go here, going right through the Sumbrada. So I see he's going to root block that. So what I do is turn that into a 3. So we go 1, 4, 3. Sorry, no, 1, 4, 3. Okay. 1, 4, 3. 1, 4, 3. 1, 4, 4. 1, 4, sorry, 1, 4, 15, and we can turn that into a backhand stroke. So that just changes the timing like that. So you can do that dry fire, and then you could do it out of a Sumbrada, okay? Recommendation, dry fire, and then do it out of Sumbrada. Then the fractions is really, I like that a lot, because I don't have to leave my hand space that long. So if we're doing a base Sumbrada, that's our base of fire Sumbrada. Doesn't matter whether he's deflecting or blocking.